so windy. Didn't hear the wheel beep. I heard the darkness spot, the firmware alarm, the PWM, and I got a soft tilt back. Because welcome to the world of dynamic tilt back. Thanks to Freestyler. A firmware modification. Godway tilt back. It's a slow tilt back. It's a gradual tilt back. And it spans from starting its tilt back to increasing. The more you push it, it'll just keep increasing and increasing. The more you push it. But it takes time. It doesn't take intensity. It takes time. So if you try to hit it fast, you'll still hit the creeping tilt back. If you continue to push it, it will continue to push you. You will run out of lean. You will run out of dorsiflexion unless you're seated. If you're seated, you can go and suck yourself some more. Just get down, move it all around. So with this now, we're doing trials. So this is set at 60% PWM, so 60% load, which means the wheel speed at the free lift speed corrected. Let's say I'm corrected. Black motherboard, 60% of PWM is 61 kilometers an hour. With load, then it's less. So I max out at around 54 kilometers an hour. The tilt back initiates a bit before that. And I get beeps and I get tilt back, and then I have like 40% power in reserve, despite me hitting 54 kilometers an hour. Checking the PWM as reported by darkness spot. Now, as reported by darkness spot, it does match what the wheel reports, but to see what the wheel reports, you have to alter the Bluetooth packets that are being sent from the wheel and send them somewhere else. So we're sending them to the temperature. But I can only see them in EUC dash. So I'm gonna meet Francois. We're gonna fiddle diddle. And the EUC dash is a web-based application. I'll leave a link in the description. We're gonna talk about the settings. We're gonna talk about the firmware. We're going to talk about the modes, the pedal modes, the speed mode, the hidden speed mode, and so on. That's in the firmware, the dissection of the firmware, and so on, at the later time. Today, we're going to look at the feasibility of implementing a dynamic tilt-back function on the Godway and Begode wheels that are flashable. Black motherboard. So that we stop overleaning the damn things. Now I'm testing at 60% PWM. I was on it yesterday with Thomas. Thomas loved it. I did practice on my Nikola the day before that by just setting it to 30 miles an hour. So try it, guys. Set a tilt back speed at a high speed. Set it at your lowest high speed for your lowest battery. So if you have a Nikola 100V, a Nikola Plus, set it to 30 miles an hour, and then go and smack into that tilt back. If you have an RSHT, it'll be fine at 30 miles an hour. Because one thing that we have to look at and that we have to analyze is what does it cost to tilt back. So we won't be putting tilt back at 80% of PWM. We'll put it at 75%, but I have to analyze the amount of amps that it's costing so that an aggressive acceleration into tilt back does not mean a very high amp spike, which would cause a high amp overlean. Now the funny story is that it's just doing a soft gradual tilt back. So the soft gradual tilt back won't cost much, but it does, according to the law of physics, it does mean that the wheel has to accelerate underneath to tilt me back, because we're switching spots. And for us to switch spots, since I'm ahead of it, it has to get ahead of me. Now, boy, oh boy, is that fun. But I've done some analysis with Nikola Plus. Since I can monitor incoming and outgoing current through the smart BMS, although there is a delay and there's not high accuracy and there's no graph, there is a cost. There is a cost. Rolex gave me a bell. Look at this. Doctor, may I present the bike path, the pedestrian path. Doctor, doctor. Oh dear Lord, that tilt back started getting big. On a slope, going up a hill, and windy. How fast? How fast? Potatoes. Disgusting. It's automatic. You kids know I'm faster than you. No, I'm not. I got to 60% PWM, but not. I am. They're limited to 28 or something, but you never know. Don't go racing bikes. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Don't go breaking my heart. Something, something song. Anyone else? Want to contribute? Yeah. I was working out. It's a beautiful sunny day. Goddamn. I got so angry at myself for getting out of shape. when you're doing a ring muscle up and the rings start to squeak and protest, then you know, man. Then you know that you put your hand in the cookie jar a few many times. But damn, those cookies were good. I lost 4 pounds though, something. Fucking truck, man. Jesus. Jesus. My face. Got all kinds of shit thrown into my face. As I'm beeping up a hill. The safest, man. The safest beeping up the hill I've ever done. It's insane. I've never been so safe. Oh man, look at that. Look at that. Darkness spot disconnected. That's why this alarm didn't go up. Lucky I got that tilt back. Lucky. Let's see the PWM. Look at that. Is that a record? Is that a record? Man, this is comfortable. This is comfortable. I got values to check out. Almost 63 PWM because I pushed into the pedals or something. Yeah. Yeah. So this is really funny because I said to Francois, look at these baller gloves, and it's like, oh, and I was just like thinking of the color, you know, and this is like the OG ones, and he says, yeah, so you don't have the questionable thing, and I'm like, I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think of that, you know, because this is all I care about. Yeah. This just
questionable thing.
Oh,
I can talk about it. A couple of weeks ago, I fell trying to jump in a skate park, and I fell right on my hand, and my hand did like that. My fingers didn't like it too much.
Exactly. Everything just gets transferred to the fingers because we lose all the ability to just like absorb and yield.
Yeah, I mean it's effective, but
yeah, it's effective.
It's a compromise.
Yeah, effective but not productive. So yeah, sadly, I see you chose a windbreaker today. I chose a windbreaker as well because these gusts of wind. I was going up this slope here, and I was really trying to push just so I could hit the 60% PWM, going up a hill. Charming. While a truck just comes the other way and just like throws dirt and gravel in my face, and I'm like, and the wheel starts beeping, and I'm pushing to see the pedal tilt back. Yeah. And while getting shit thrown in my face, and darkness spot turned off, it crashed. So my alarm didn't go off. The wheel beat. I couldn't. No, the wind. But so there we go. It came in handy. Freestyler says hi.
Oh yeah, it's nice to. Yeah. I'm really happy you have a great tester.
You guys are peas in a pod with the Freestyler and Francois. They're like, this firmware. Let's pick it apart into molecules. So yeah.
But that's mostly me.
Yeah.
I'm just on the same page.
But it's good that you're around and are on the same page, exactly, because it's not nice to not be understood. We'll be back with some fiddly diddly. (10:45 p.m.) It finally got dark. so that I can test the strobe feature. Just a feature that we're playing with. In Sweden, we have a law regarding the front light, that the front light must always have a constant shine. So I now have a constant shine, and if this one decides to strobe, then so be it. So I'm gonna flip and I'm gonna speed. I will analyze that in further detail, but I would say that when the alarm went off, then that initiated the tilt back, and as the tilt back increased and I continued to insist, then it started to flash. So that's also good. That's also good. I don't need it coming too early. I'm fine with the beeps coming and the tilt back initiating. So that I can like just know like, okay, here's the tilt back, here's some beeping, you have an audio cue, you have a physical cue. And then thirdly, when you push and insist, then the strobe will go off. And that's fine if the strobe goes off, because then you're at the point where you should back off. If it would have started with a soft tilt back, you know, just like the beginning of the tilt back, then it would be like a tiny bit too early for me, because that would eventually be an area where I would want to just sort of play a bit, you know, at the beginning of the tilt back. But yeah, really, really great implementation. It's very interesting to look at the details, and I was doing a lot of thinking if I wanted the tilt back to come first, or do I want the beeps to come first? Do I want the beeps to be like the last word and the tilt back comes before that? But I think that having the audio cue and the physical cue at the same time, this way you don't have to separate what is what, you know, everything is just like together. With the tilt back intensifying as you continue and the strobe going off. I'm riding in some fucking zoo, man. It's like a bird, a seagull, and then a fucking hare crosses. Jesus, people warning me all the time. You know, careful, Mike. You're gonna run into a hare someday. And then I was riding with Christopher, and then a deer comes and crosses my path. And then I'm like, and then I start to go, and then another deer comes, and I'm like, oh dear. Oh dear. But I mean, with this now, you know, it's like this is a crazy fast wheel, and you can just set the PWM at 60%, and that's like such a huge margin, you know. And then you can just like go ahead and ride at a little over 30 miles an hour all the time at full battery, and have like such insane safety buffer. Although you can still high amp overlean without getting much warning. and that doesn't have to do with the PWM. That's not a voltage and wheel rotation, motor rotation calculation. That's just a limitation of what the battery system can deliver. Maybe we can make that a thing of the past when we just go for the high discharge batteries, right? So yeah, everything is just fantastic. Perfect windy day to try this with some inclines and hitting bumps here and there. You know, lots of variables. The wheel does everything. So the wheel will beep at the lower volume, and the tiltback will go. The wheel will beep at the lower value, and the tiltback will go off with that value. So you don't have to do anything. You don't have to set anything. You don't have to worry that you set tiltback at 40 miles an hour and now you're at half battery and going up the slope and you've been eating triple cheeseburgers for the past 3 months. Well, that got personal. So yeah, Freestyler. What's a fella? What's a fella? What a guy, man. So all you Godway riders, all you Begode riders, Begode, all you Sherman riders, sadly this won't apply to you, but we have been against the tiltback forever because of the story that we tell ourselves and so on. Try the tiltback, set it at a low value. Try the tiltback, set it at 12 miles an hour. Play with it, see how far you can push, see how fast you can push. The tiltback will hit you. As you push, it will push you back. If you hit bumps in sequence and so on while the tiltback is initiating, it will be fine because the tiltback is just initiating. But if you are pushing and pushing and pushing so that you get into deep tiltback after potato units of time, then you're in another posture. Then you're in a posture, you know, where your toes are being lifted. So that's not an incentive to keep pushing. That's an incentive to slow down. And as you practice, you will understand. I've spent the past days practicing to get a head start on doing this. Francois did not want to try. Francois did not want to try it for a very simple reason. Since the value is so high at 60%, I thought it was low. But you know, I have a head start because I've done the practice. Francois did not want to try. I totally understand that because, you know, in reality, this is like at 32 or 33 miles an hour that I'm getting tilted back. But it's just so good. It's just so good. time is it?
It's 22:57.
It's 22:57. Oh damn, it's gonna rain in an hour. Careful, careful. So, theoretically, this is the safest ride I've ever done. I stroke the cyclist. Gonna show you guys something nice. Blind everyone with my super bright nipples. Thanks for joining me on another awesome ride, fellas. We outie. If I find something fun to record, we innie. Peace. Oh no, it started raining. Oh yeah, I'm home. Here, boy. Here, boy. One of my pedals is vibrating. Phew. But do you even though? You know you can lower the volume of those beeps in the UC dash, but you can never override the volume of the 5 beep beep. So I think I will do that. Because it's a bit loud. A little bit loud. One potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4. The Knights of the Round Table on my jackets. Now that's a charming sound, if I ever heard one. But yeah, that's something, huh? That is something. So, I'm gonna bump it up to 75%. Maybe 70. Maybe 70, because at 75, man. Man, that's charming. 75%, man. That's potato miles an hour. That's fast.